Alright guys, what is going on? Oink here, and we got a brand new set of seasonal events. And this week is the 550 performance points Lamborghini exclusive. Pretty much says it all in the name. It's Lamborghini only event. You can use any of the cars. We'll go into the entry regulations there. So of course 550 performance points. The tyres maximum is sport soft, and you can use absolutely any of the Lamborghini cars, including the Aventador DLC or the two standard Lamborghinis. We've got Monza, Tokyo Route 246, Madrid Reverse, Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps, and you can drive that one, of course, even if you don't have the DLC, and finish up with a Toscana custom. Same as the last time around, I'm sticking with the Gallardo LP560, but I customized the tune a little bit. The event is reasonably tricky, actually. I'll go into that in a bit in a second. We'll go into the tune now. Suspension-wise, it's not a perfect tune by any means, but you can kind of see what I've got going on here. The only thing that's not right here is the dampers. Definitely you want stiffer than that. You maybe want to go to like 6 or 7 on the, maybe like 7 or 8 on the extension, and 6 or so on the compression, and then also maybe stick the anti-roll bars up to maybe 6 as well, 5 or 6. My PS3 reset itself halfway through, so it reset the settings on the suspension, but I forgot to change it back, so I did the rest of the events with the slightly less good suspension setup. You also want to get the torque distribution. I found 50-50 was a lot quicker than further back, so give that a go, see what you find best. I stuck with 186 max speed on the gear ratio for all of the events, so didn't need to change that, and just get it into the 550 performance points range with whichever upgrades you feel necessary. I got with the carbon bonnet there as well. And we'll get straight into Monza. As I said, well, Monza was actually a fairly easy one, so I'll kind of let that run whilst I explain. These events were in themselves not necessarily that difficult. The tracks were fairly easy. I mean, you know, the car handles very nicely on the sport soft tyres. Got 4-wheel drive, so it's particularly forgiving. If you get it sideways, you can just really stick the power down. You don't have to worry about the tyres or anything. So really easy car to drive. The main thing that made this difficult was the fact that the AI are just so bad sometimes. Like, it really can be frustrating. Tracks like Tokyo Route 246, Madrid, this one and Spa weren't so bad, but Tokyo Route 246 and Madrid were particularly nasty, and you will see they literally will drive right in the middle of the road, and it's usually narrow on both of those, right in the middle, really slowly. And I mean, like, literally I've seen them braking on the exit of corners, so I'll be coming out of the exit and the guy is literally on the brakes if I'm just behind him. Like, it's so difficult, and if you shunt into the back of them, you will lose a good second or two. And because the tracks there are reasonably difficult to get to first place, because you're having to pass in very narrow situations, then it really was tough to get to front. I mean, as I said, maybe with a slightly different tune, it could have been a little bit easier. I didn't play with it too much. As I said, with the slightly stiffer dampers and the suspension settings that I showed, it was a bit better, but it still took me, you know, I don't know, 20 minutes or something to get Tokyo and Madrid done. I don't know, they were a bit of a nightmare, but as I said, primarily due to the AI being so bad. Anyway, Monza's fairly straightforward. Just keep it really nice and smooth and get in the draft every opportunity with these big long straights. You can see here I take first just at the end of lap 3, so starting lap 4, and we skip ahead 2 laps later and I finish off the race there, lapping about 151s it looks like at Monza. We'll go to Route 246 then. As I said, it's just, you've got to be very precise here and also take your opportunities when you can. I go down the inside here, which wasn't the easiest thing. Normally he took that inside line. You can go around the outside and you won't lose too much time either, but you definitely want to get past him, otherwise you'll get stuck behind him on the exit. This is all about just knowing the track. If you're bumping off the walls too much, you're going to be losing time. If you're not getting good exit speeds, you'll also be going to be losing time. And as I said, you really need to make every overtake at the exact right point here. I kind of messed up this corner. I should have been past this Countach by this point in time. If I was, you know, doing an ideal first lap, but I kind of screwed up that big right-hander, which is an extremely difficult corner to get right because the exit is so difficult to spot. But I get past him in the end, and this corner here is also quite crucial. Make sure you're braking early and turning into the apex. It's quite an early apex there, and you hit the apex and then get on the gas quickly in fourth to keep the car from hitting the walls. As I said, because of the four-wheel drive, get the power in early as possible. Get the power in as early as possible, as much as possible, because that will help keep the car from bumping against the walls. If you let it slide, if you're off the gas for too long, it will just push wide. So really use that four-wheel drive to its most potential sort of thing. Again, good exit here, and then this massive long straight. You really want to try and find someone to draft for this if possible. And then just watch out for the braking zone at the end. If you hit against the wall on turn 1 here, you're going to lose bags of time, and you really can't afford to lose bags of time. So there it is, 147, and I was lapping 146, low 146, high 145s at best, and at that, even then it was a close one. I took first, which was a slightly worse lap. It was like a high 146, but then right on the last corner, so a pretty close one and a really different one because the AI are just such a nightmare. And we go to Madrid. Things don't get much easier. You can see turn 1, I messed that up so many times. I got to the point where I just gave up and just bounced off him. He will quite literally roll straight across the middle. He doesn't hit either apex. He goes right down the middle. Basically goes sideways across the corner. There is no way through him. You can either take it wide, go in on the left-hand side of him, wait till he's turned, and then get a really good exit. So kind of hang back and then get a really good exit to the left of him. Or you can do what I do and pretty much just barrel into the side of him, as long as you're not going too fast, and get around the corner that way. It's kind of cheesy, I know, but it's just such a pain. He is horrendously slow and you just can't get through there. So that's what I said for that corner. For the rest of it, again, you want to be pretty aggressive throughout. Don't let the AI hold you up, otherwise you may find yourself slipping behind. This one is a little easier to get to the front than it is in Tokyo, so if you can't get past an AI, better to be patient than completely make a mistake, but where possible, try and make the overtake as early as you can. But yeah, as I said, you should be able to make your way into first a little bit sooner than at Route 246, so it shouldn't be as much of a challenge here than it was in the previous one. But like I said, don't hang around on the overtakes. You can see you actually completely messed up turn 1 in the draft and just barreled into the guy in first, kind of on the last lap there. So it wasn't too bad, but again, kind of a crazy bad overtake for the first place. And we go to Spa. This is kind of a similar story to Monza. And I usually say this, the ones where you've just got lots and lots of long straight sections is usually the ones which are going to be a little easier, and this is no different. Again, as I said, if you don't have the Spa DLC, which obviously does cost money normally, you can still drive this. Consider it a free trial, if you will, and enjoy it while it lasts, sort of thing. Well, obviously you can come back anytime. Bit of a cut on what's it called? Eau Rouge there, but you can get away. I think I didn't deliberately try to, but at one point I think I did cut it on the left, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't penalise you like they have sometimes penalised you for cutting certain corners. So if you really want, you can blaze straight through Eau Rouge on the left hand side, but yeah, it shouldn't really be a difficult track. As I said, just get in the draft as much as you can, keep those nice and smooth, use as much of the track as possible. You can see they're getting wide onto the rumble strips, getting the apexes and then coming wide again. So really use all of the track and just nice and smooth lines. As I said, the AI, you've got a bit more track to play with here, so they shouldn't cause as much of a problem as the previous two tracks. And yeah, apologies by the way that this video is out a little bit later. I don't finish my lectures until 6 PM, and then I had to drive all these and then edit it, get it up, all that stuff. So sorry, it's a little bit late. Anyway, oh, one other thing I should mention actually. It seems like they're maybe going away from the forced skid recovery. It's kind of been a thing that everyone hates. Obviously, maybe some of you don't even are aware of it, but At least in the forums on GT Planet, people get pretty upset every time they make you use skid recovery, so at least it's been trending towards the fact that that's not the case anymore, and that's true again for this one. There is no forced skid recovery, which is nice to see, because you know, it's good to have that option. Anyway, finishing up the lap here at Spa-de-Francorchamps, and again, not too much of a difficult one. We've got 4 laps here, so it's going to be a bit of a longer race. Taking first just at the start of lap 4, but there is at what, 2 minute 27, 2 minute 28 laps, so longer laps. It's going to be about a 10-minute race, which is considerably longer than at least Madrid, for example. And we move on to the Toscana tarmac custom track, which is the final set, and this one is actually quite nice. This was, for a change, a challenging custom track. Often these are the easiest of the lot, but this one was actually difficult, and well, not necessarily difficult, but it was a little bit more challenging, and it was good because it was challenging not just because the AI were in the way. Like, it was actually more of a difficult race. Like, the AI were reasonably fast here. You can see I'm barely any faster than these guys in a straight line. In fact, the Miuras who lead the pack in every race are actually faster than my car on the straights here, so you really do have to be good in the corners and make best use of the draft wherever possible, so that you're not losing time on the straights. When you get to them, you'll find, if you're using the same car as I do, that the Miuras are actually quicker, so you need to stay in their draft and make your passes at just the right time. The first time I did this, the first time I could have won this, I overtook him just before the last corner. He then got in my draft and blazed through me and beat me by like a tenth, but I couldn't do anything about it because he was just that little bit faster on the straight. Anyway, he made a little mistake, and I wasn't expecting him to, so I kind of barreled into the side of him with a couple corners to go on lap 6 for the win there, lapping about 1 minute 7s. That wraps up this set of seasonal events. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.